Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the November 19th, 2012 Raleigh Board of Selectmen meeting. I call the meeting to order. Remind everybody that this meeting is being audio taped and videotaped. And first on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. And our treasurer, Karen, someone's in the audience. And Karen, will you lead us in the pledge?
I'd love to. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Karen, thank you. Next on the agenda is chairman's comments. I have nothing to say tonight. And it's 7:01, and first we have on the agenda tonight is a 7 o'clock joint meeting with the Historic District Commission and the Historical Commission for the signing of the Brad Street on historic preservation restriction. The Historic District Commission, the Historical Commission, we'll have a joint meeting between that and the Board of Selectmen for the signing of the Brad Street, again, house and barn historic preservation restriction. Make a motion to have a joint meeting, and do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we have a joint meeting with the Historical District Commission / Historical Commission, and by roll call vote.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor of the roll call vote?
I, Jack Cook.
Aye, Joe Perry.
I, Robert Snow.
I, Robert Mary.
I, Stu Delzell.
Historic Commission.
I, Frank Todd.
Aye, Nathaniel Demo.
I, Elizabeth Jones.
Is there anyone else?
You have
Just,
don't have a
We
quorum.
don't have a quorum.
we don't have a quorum. Oh. Is there anybody else out in the? Who's missing? Do we-
Bobby Cianfrocca
Excuse me?
confirmed he would be here.
Okay. Okay, we'll have to wait a minute until we have a quorum. Well, 3 after 7.
Someone give him a call, Mr. Chairman, make sure he's coming.
We're gonna try to look him up right now.
Okay. Amy's on top of it, so that's good.
Dave Jacobs is out in the hallway. He's on his cell phone.
Okay. Not there yet, okay.
New York Herald Tribune, 1937.
Really? What about,
Did you?
about the Brad, it's John Bradstreet?
Yeah.
This is John.
That's John right there?
That's his wife.
That's his wife?
Talking about
Oh,
get rid of Slaughter's last pick.
Yeah.
He'd already stopped cow business because they built that last recent again.
What's that, the
For
hall?
everybody tuning in at home right now,
John.
we're waiting for a quorum. We're to go into a joint meeting
Oh,
with the
okay.
Historic,
Yeah.
Historic District Commission and the Historical Commission. And so we're just waiting. We need one more member. This is what happens when you're on live TV.
That's the article, Bob, that I was talking about.
Well, we can't go into joint meeting right now, so why don't we go over the minutes, gentlemen? Okay, the minutes for October 22nd, 2012. Get those out. Okay, has everybody read those minutes?
I have. Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Do I have a motion to accept the minutes for October 22nd?
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The minutes for November 5th, has everybody read them? Yes. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
I have minutes for November 5th, 2012, and these are for executive session. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
The second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the minutes are complete. Everything else here is kind of lengthy to go into, so I guess I'll do some announcements. The food pantry is in need of donations. The food pantry is open Tuesdays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and Thursdays from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. And Amy, what were the last time the food pantry was in need of? Do you remember?
I don't recall.
Cereals.
Cereals,
Jellies.
Pancake
jellies,
mix.
pancake mix, syrup,
Bread mix.
bread mix. Okay, so if you have those items, it would be greatly appreciated. And especially, it's a good time of year to do that, especially coming up on the holidays. People less fortunate than many of us to make food donations, and you can make that either at the food pantry, which is right beside the Baptist church, with just the rear of the parsonage, or at the library. There's a food basket there. Also, just to mention, we have a drop-off for batteries out in the hallway here for D size, C size, double A's, triple A's. So if you have batteries that are expended and you want to know where to drop them off. you
Yeah,
can
they
drop
also
them off.
take button cells too.
Button cells
Yeah.
for hearing aids and
All of that kind of
such.
thing because of the mercury in it.
Yeah. So it's a good place. If you don't know what to do with your old batteries, you can drop them right off here in the box, right in the hallway, right across from the town clerk's office.
There's also one at the public library.
That's one of the public library also, okay. So, just remind everybody, the town has the following vacant
Yes.
seats.
I think they
Planning
take
board,
I think they'll take any.
planning board member, and also a planning board associate member, and zoning board of appeals associate member. So those vacancies, if anybody is interested at home, you can just drop off your resume here at the selectman's office. Pine Grove School Annual Craft Fair is Saturday, December 1st. Also, the Friends of the Library, Public Library, is sponsoring a holiday basket raffle to fund programs at the library.
I don't have it.
They are seeking donations of baskets worth at least $50, which will be displayed at the library along with sponsor details from November 24th to December 15th. Drawing will be on December 15th. You can email baskets at raleighlibrary.org. That's all one word. Baskets at raleighlibrary.org for more information.
If I could, Mr. Chairman, I would
Certainly.
also like to add an announcement that I'm going to be posting an agenda for the first meeting of the 375th Anniversary Committee for Tuesday, November 27th, in the Annex Meeting Room.
Thank you, John. Thank you. And that will be coming up very shortly, won't it?
Next Tuesday, a week from tomorrow.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah. Citizen queries, Mr. Chairman.
Well, oh yes, citizen query's been opened at 7:05. It is now 10 after 7, so citizen query is open till 1:15. Anybody have any queries of the selectmen? Okay, you can make a query, but we can't make comments on the query.
Mr. Chairman, on any subject, on a query?
Any subject.
Okay. I noticed that you're signing tonight on Brad Street preservation restrictions. And I don't know whether you are aware that there's a culvert that goes behind my property and goes underneath that road. That is a stone culvert, and it needs to be replaced because when it rains, my backyard floods.
Can you, yes,
I might be able to.
can you identify yourself? I'm sorry.
My name is Mike Sabatini.
I know, Mike.
And how you doing? In the master plan that was done on that property, that area was included to be addressed and to be cleaned up and a new pipe put in and culvert and wash and everything
Okay.
on the new subdivision plan that either you guys have or certainly Debbie even has. It does address it.
And Mike, you are, so everybody knows for the record.
Yes, sir. I'm in purchasing the Grass Street house component of the subdivision.
Thanks, Mike.
Ed, on the master plan from the land use committee, the Brad Street Land Use Committee, address that culvert when the low-income housing portion gets developed. There'll be a new roadway put in there, and at that point, the culvert will get upgraded.
Okay.
We're
That
really-
was my concern.
We really shouldn't make a comment, okay, during the citizen query. We can listen to the query, okay, but we can't make a comment from the board because it's not on the agenda, okay? Well, it's kind of on the agenda, but that's specific. Okay. All right, done, thank you.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I need, just to let you know, I need to leave by 8 o'clock, so
All right, Libby,
just to.
okay, we're trying best we can to,
Oh, I understand, but I just didn't want you to,
okay,
He's here.
I just wanted
He's
you to
here.
be aware of that.
okay.
Thanks.
Well, we reserve the chair for you. Okay. I'll start over again. This is a joint meeting, Historic District Commission, Historical Commission, for the signing of the Brad Street and Barn Historic Preservation Restriction. A call for a motion to open a joint meeting by roll call vote. A motion needs to be made and seconded. So right now I'm asking for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move we open a joint meeting with the Historic District Commission and Historical Commission by roll call vote.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor with a roll call vote.
Jack Cook.
Hi, Joe Perry.
I, Robert Snow.
I, Robert Mary.
I, Stu Delzell.
Hi, Frank Todd.
Hi, Nathaniel Doma.
Hi, Elizabeth Jones.
Hi, Robert C. Braga.
Thank you. We are now in joint session. Historic preservation restriction is ready to be signed by the Board of Selectmen and the Historic Commission. Debbie and the Town Council have been working with the Massachusetts Historic Commission for the past few weeks on finalizing the document. The Mass Historic Commission request a few changes, updates. Now that both the Board of Selectmen and the Historic Commission need to vote to sign the historic preservation restriction, the signatures must be notarized. There are two original historic preservation restriction documents. Both must be signed. Karen Summit, our treasurer, will notarize these documents after action is taken to I request that we stay in open session because we have an appointment at 7:15. Okay? So, with that, if I turn this over to you, well,
Do we need a motion to?
So,
sign the
Mr. Chairman,
document?
call for a motion to have the document signed by both the Board of Selectmen and Historic District Commission. I'm
Do-
sorry, Historical Commission.
do I have a motion to sign the documents?
So move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor,
Aye.
with a roll call vote?
I do.
Excuse me, could we back up for 1 second here?
Sure.
This is the first time any of us on the historic board have seen it, and I read it and reviewed it, and it looks fine. But we haven't had any opportunity to see a presentation from Mr. Sabatini or discuss on the board, from the
Mhm.
board, anything regarding this document whatsoever. It's a 28-page document. I think we need to have some discussion.
Okay.
Well, we have to go through the,
I can't sign anything without a 28-page document without having some understanding.
Libby, what's your
We haven't been
your
privy
main
at all.
concern?
I know nothing about the project at all. I don't think any of us do. Have we heard any of us heard anything about it at all?
Frank, could you shed any light on this?
Well, I took out the paperwork here, and I'm the only one that knew anything about it. And, but nobody else on the board did, and I brought it up at our last meeting. I said, you know, there's more to this, and your names are on it.
Okay.
And that's the most that we've not discussed it as a group.
Okay. I thought that this was all been,
Well, Mr. Chairman, we've been trying to sell this property for a while now. And so back when the Broad Street Land Use Committee was active, they worked on this. There was, I believe, a representative from the Historical Commission that was on that group. There was representatives from the
Mhm.
planning board, from all different boards. And when the town meeting gave permission to buy this property from Mrs. Bradstreet, the condition was that the house and barn be sold with a historic preservation restriction on it in a form approved by the Mass Historical Commission. And that's what we have before us today, is this document was reviewed a few years ago in a draft form, has been attached to the request for proposals documents we've sent out. They wanted a couple updates on some pictures and a site key plan to be updated a little bit, and so just some minor changes went into it, but it's pretty much the draft that we've had when we've been selling this for the past couple of years.
No members. Both
Oh.
Libby and Bob are
Bob,
new
both
members.
new
And
members.
I'd say Jim Melwick was a new member, and the only reason he isn't here is in Florida.
Okay.
He'd be back, like somebody said, the 25th or something.
Okay. And you haven't had a meeting with your,
No.
before we,
Not as a group. I say, I've looked it over from what was given out, but other than that, that's it. And I took it with me to the last meeting we had,
when was the last meeting you had for?
the first Thursday of the month. And I said, your names are on this. And of course, Libby's wasn't on it, Bob's wasn't on it. And I think Nat's and mine, and there might have been one, whether Sarah was on it or not, but where Mike Haney's off the board and Sally Schwartz is off the board, you know, the ones that were all named then. So there's been a change of the guard, you might say.
Mm-hmm. Now, this puts us in a bind.
Well, basically, the document itself was done through an attorney and a preservationist that we hired to do the original documentation of the property itself.
Yeah.
Mr. Detweiler out of Georgetown, he does that for a living. It appears to me that what you're trying to do is decide whether his plan is gonna work or not.
Well,
But I think that's a little premature.
I know it's,
In that what we're trying to satisfy with this document is the state requirements.
Mhm.
Once that's taken care of, then Mr. Sabatini can come along with his plans, meet with you people, and get that approved.
Meaning, is his intended use of the property?
Well, his ideas of fixing up the property. Okay, there are certain restrictions listed in this document. On the house, it's basically the outside of the house. On the barn, it's the exterior and interior of the barn that's covered under this document.
Okay, so there's a setback requirement for us for the historical district commission.
Well, and you understand now, you're not acting as an historical district commission right now.
Okay,
You are acting as the historical commission.
okay,
Okay, you wear two hats.
okay.
So that particular property where it's located today is not in the district. It's outside of the district, but the restriction guides the historical commission, not the historic district commission. And that's all this document does, is give you guidelines to go by when he comes before you with his plan.
Then this will be recorded, with the deed. This has to be recorded with the deed on the sale. So we're in a purchase and sale agreement right now, and we have, we're
Basically,
working on a closing date for this sale, and this document, in accordance with the town meeting vote, needs to be signed by the Selectmen and the Historical Commission and the Mass Historical Commission, and they are waiting it upon the execution of these two boards tonight.
Go forward.
Yes, we did have, when this was worked on by attorney Martha Rausch, who was on the Brad Street Land Use Committee, it was Selectman Cummings, who was a member of the Historical Commission, served as the representative to that board, who worked on this, who sat on the Brad Street Land Use Committee and on the Historical Commission, who was the one involved in it. So without him being on the board tonight, I realized he was the one who attended all the meetings and worked on this with this committee in town. It was a cross-section of different representatives from many different committees who sat on that, who developed the subdivision plan. And we're just following through with the town meeting
and
mandate.
the most important part of this is the town council has also approved this document. And that was a feat in itself to get through the
See,
process.
I have no problem with it. Whether the rest of them do or not, I don't know.
Well, that's-
Because this is the first time they've seen it.
Right, yeah, but I mean, I think they can feel confident that what we're trying to do tonight isn't gonna affect your decisions in the future, because that's the next step. It's not necessarily has to be done tonight. But when Mike comes before you with his plans, then you will be sitting down, using this as a document, as a guideline, using your own regulations as a guideline, and working with him so that he can fix up the property and move into it.
You wanna move in
Yeah,
physically?
yeah. Is that all right?
Both houses?
Well, it's a two-family. I knocked out one side, now I'm moving the other.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr.
if it just does not inconvenience Mr. Sabatini much, would we be wise to table this for 1 week to allow the new members to read this packet?
Will that, by tabling it, will that entail, will it curtail anything that needs to be?
Well, he's running up against the weather at this point.
I'm for letting it go tonight too. So let's move forward. I don't know, but Libby?
No, I mean, we can move forward, as long as I understand properly. I mean, this is gonna go in as part of the deed. And then, Mike, you're gonna come before the board. I guess because, excuse me for not understanding the difference between the Historic District Commission and the Historical Commission.
Two separate bodies.
I've only been on this is my second meeting.
No, I
so,
understand.
Okay.
I apologize for not understanding that distinction. I guess it works the same. I mean, what is the Historical Commission? It
The
sounds
Historical
terrible for me
Commission,
to say.
the Historical Commission has a different,
We have a district.
Right, I thought I was on the
there's two
Historic
commissions.
District Commission.
There's a Historic District Commission, and the Historic District Commission handles the two historic districts that are in town. And with the properties that are being renovated, you have a set of rules, there's a state law that covers that. The Historical Commission was established back in the 60s. And what the Historical Commission does is preserve historic artifacts for the community. That's basically their charge at that point.
The whole town.
Yes. Now, also, within the last, 4 or 5 years, probably 4 years, the Historic Commission also took on the demolition delay bylaw. That is, the district that they control that in is outside of the historic district. The Historic District Commission handles anything in that district. The Historical Commission handles the rest of the town with the demolition delay bylaw itself. So there's two very distinct jobs that they do, and you're all the same people. And that is also allowed by state law. The state found that they couldn't get enough historical people to do both jobs, so they combined them. And allows you to combine them if you accept a certain chapter and section of the law, which the town of Rowley did.
He used to be chairman of the Historic Commission
So,
once upon a time.
I mean, I was part of this process, and I realized how many hours, literally probably hundreds of hours, was put into this. Not only the land use portion of the property, but this document so that we could protect that historic nature of that property too. We went with the first draft through the state. We went through numerous drafts with that when we were working on it. We finally got the state to accept it, and then when we went to do the project itself, we had problems because of some of the timing that we had. We bought the property right at the top of the market.
Selectmen's office.
We had an appraisal done right at the top of the market, and by the time we got ready to put it out to bid, the market had fallen, and we've been chasing our tail ever since, trying to get this done. Mike stepped up. Absolutely happy to see him come, because that property needs to be protected and needs to be closed in. There's been some damage there from windstorms that we've had in the past. Mike's willing to go forward and trying to patch that up so we can get it through the winter and he can get started in there and do his thing. So I think it would be a shame if we couldn't get this done tonight and get this settled with the state.
Bob, thank you for your explanation. We always refer everything historical to Bob, 'cause otherwise he knows everything in depth. So Libby, do you feel comfortable?
Yep, I feel confident
Bob,
now.
do you feel comfortable?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. So, where did we leave off?
We have a motion on the table. I think
Well-
we just need to vote on it.
Have a motion on the table to sign the document
I'll make that motion.
by roll call vote.
You actually have a motion.
We
just
got the
need-
motion. Did we get the motion and get it seconded?
Yes, we just don't have a vote yet.
Okay, now we need a vote.
Hi, Jack Cook.
Aye, Joe Perry.
Hi, Robert Snow.
Hi, Robert Mary.
I, Stu Dalzell.
Hi, Frank Todd.
Hi, Nathaniel Warner.
I, Elizabeth Jones.
Hi, Robert St. Crocker.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, with that,
Mike's chomping at the
we'll
bit to
have
go to
the,
work.
He
Okay,
is.
all right.
Talked to him yesterday.
Just over a bit.
okay. Bob,
There's a few big holes in the bottom.
we have two copies. Yes, we
Okay.
do this.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
okay.
they're
Yeah,
good.
we have two copies, okay.
All right, thank you.
Bob, there you go. Joe. And after we're through with this, remember, I can't let you go.
two, was it, Joe?
Is another one.
Oh, okay, that's,
Okay.
people.
Okay, is there a clipboard out there? Yeah, pass this over. Karen, can you pass that back? You have a pen? Okay. Thank you, Amy.
Jeez. You're somewhere in that file. Yes.
Amy, with the second one.
I can't sign it. Flip right down. Yeah.
Thank you, Amy.
We can go this way if you want. Skip the things.
Yeah. Hey, let's go. Been in the new donut shop yet?
No,
Good.
is it? Yeah, I checked out the hours this morning.
Okay, it's past 7:15, the citizen query is now over. We're still in the process of signing the document for the Brad Street process, and then Karen Summit, our treasurer, will notarize the documents.
Sorry?
You're gonna notarize
Yes,
the
okay.
documents. So we're in the process now that the Board of Selectmen has now signed the documents, and it now is in the hands of the Historic Commission.
You done with that now? You wanna close it or leave it?
I'll just take it, I'm gonna go notarize it.
Yeah, I think it's the historical or the historic?
Historical District
Historical.
Commission.
Historical.
Commission on the side.
It's both.
Yeah, historical on one side, just on the other. Down back of mine.
Yeah. All right. I will be right back with these.
Yes, okay. Then after that, Karen,
There's
when you come
another
back, you
packet for
can't
the
leave,
next
remember
part
that.
of the meeting. You could just take one and pass it down.
Want your pen?
Thanks.
There you go.
What's this one?
That's the second thing you signed. Something to do with windows.
I have to sign this?
So we're gonna be.
Oh, this is the Grange thing. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, do you want us to bring in the, since we're running behind, the 7:15
Run behind 15 minutes.
appointment, that's all.
Sure. Thank you, Debbie. Alan, right up front here.
Right front. I do better if I stand, if that's okay.
No, that's all right, we reserved that chair for you. Oh, okay. Alan, if you want to stand up at any time, go right ahead, okay?
Good evening, sir. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I need to recuse myself from a member of the Grange.
Oh, sure, Stu. Hi, Barbara.
Excuse me, sir, can you sign in, please?
Do we have, we don't have enough chairs, I'll make sure everybody has a seat here. Hi, Mary.
Good to see you again.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Okay. We're in tight quarters tonight. Get you a chair. Yeah, a couple of, Stu, can we have another chair over here, please? Thank you.
Steal this chair for a moment.
Yeah, we could probably do that. There you go, right there. Okay.
Just don't lean
Just
back.
don't lean back.
Just don't lean back.
For that chair.
One of those
Yeah,
models.
it's one of those chairs.
Mr. Chairman, could you make an announcement? We have a sign-in sheet
Yes.
circulating, please.
We have a sign-in sheet. We're gonna pass that around, so everybody sign that, please. And then if you call on to speak or you raise your hand to speak, please identify yourself, okay, and where you live. So, and again, I wanna notify everybody, I did this at the beginning of the meeting, we're being audio taped and videotaped, okay? All right.
We're still in joint meeting.
We're still in joint meeting with the Historic, okay, Commission. Alan, anytime you want a chair, we'll get you a chair, okay? I know you're.
I would like,
backwards.
prefer to read this before we start anything.
Could- All right, could, 1 second, could you hold on to that, Alan? All right. Continuing joint meeting continues with the Raleigh Historic Commission, Historical Commission, for the appointment with the Raleigh Grange Representative Alan and Barbara Gasper to discuss plans to upgrade the Grange Hall. Raleigh Grange Representative Alan and Barbara Gasper have sent a letter to the Board of Selectmen regarding plans to upgrade the Grange Hall. I would like either Alan or Barbara to read the letter into the record. The following two items were submitted for tonight's meeting: a memo from Building Inspector Ken Ward and HDC Chairwoman Sarah Bork to provide the set of Raleigh Historic District guidelines which are given out to the applicants. Okay, with that, Alan, would you like to read that into the record?
Yes,
Is this a copy?
that's a
Okay.
copy, and someone from the Historical Society,
Who's the chair here? for this?
who's next in
I
command.
think Bill is gonna represent us.
Okay, Bill? Frank?
Okay. This is a letter that I drafted today. No one knows about this, not even the Grange members.
Okay.
November 19th, 2012, 14:30, from Raleigh Grange, number 204, Patrons of Husbandry Incorporated, 29 Central Street, Raleigh, Mass. 01969, Alan W. Gasper, past master. To Raleigh Board of Selectmen, R.E. Grange Historical Building Repairs. On November 1, 2012, Barbara and I met with the Raleigh Historical Commission. We were seeking approval to install vinyl siding on the building and other updates. With many questions being asked, I felt not qualified to answer. I asked if we could put this meeting on hold and meet again at the next meeting with someone with knowledge to answer their questions. It was agreed. Upon leaving, I mentioned to the committee that our Grange received a letter from the National Grange that we were one of 23 Granges in the country to receive a most distinguished award for what we do in helping the National Grange, State Grange, and our community. The chairman suggested that grants may be available to help with costs and would check for the Grange, leaving. I realize this committee has a deep passion in preserving the history of the district. Raleigh Grange has 58 members, 50% are senior citizens, and 10 to 14 attend members and are active. The historic building has many issues. Number one, no insulation in the exterior walls. Number two, no insulation in the attic. Number three, windows could be replaced for efficiency and historic value. 4, siding. 5, east side rear door replace. 6, update front entry repair door. 7, the gas furnace needs to be replaced. If any or all the 7 issues are to be met and solved, the Grange cannot financially bear the burden. If or when the Grange can no longer continue and has to turn the charter into the State Grange, all property and assets will belong to the State Grange. I am sure the State Grange will not want the property or be in business with the town. If the town wishes to keep the building historic, I would recommend to the members that the Grange deed the property to the town free, with the understanding that the Rowley Grange can use the building for its regular scheduled meetings. I also recommend that no action be taken to restore the building at this time, but a dialogue between the Grange Historic Committee and the Grange as to the future of the building. The Grange will make every effort to keep the building weather tight. It has been our custom to shut down the building for the winter after the first meeting in December, shutting off the water and gas until March. Respectfully submitted, Alan W. Gasper, member of the Building Committee.
Thank you, Alan.
So, you want to act on this letter first?
Any discussion from the Board of Selectmen? From the Historic Commission?
It's a nice letter. I agree that if they come in to our next meeting, we can have a meeting of the minds.
Okay.
But this puts off your intended updates to the Grange Hall.
Yes, because I'm a repairer, not a restorer. And if you're going to restore this building, I would assume and think that you'd want to start from scratch by insulating the sidewalls and the attic. Because the furnace that we have, we're nursing it along because the burners cannot be replaced in the physical part of the stove. And we just don't have the dollars to do this. We just don't have the dollars, period. And if it's a financial drain, and we have to turn in our charter, then you're gonna be dealing with a state range. And either one don't wanna do that.
So I guess we moved on from where we were last week when I met with you. So we're back to the commission
Selectmen's
and
office.
the Grange to work.
At the meeting last time, Sarah brought up the bit that perhaps the CPA funds could help out. But there was never any votes taken. And I explained that the next meeting of the CPA
Okay.
will be in the middle of January, getting ready ahead of town meeting.
Okay.
And the way things are done is, we pass it as the CPA, then the selectmen have to accept it,
Mhm.
and then town meeting has to accept it on top of that.
No,
So, but that's the rule.
Okay, to use the CPA funds,
This is historic.
historic.
This building, there's an old postcard around that shows this building, which was, and the center school in the
Thank you.
background.
Yeah.
I'll turn that around. So, Nat, can you zoom in on this? I'll hold this real still. Go ahead. Fine.
And this building and the one next to it, where what used to be the school as well as the town hall up above. And then when they built the center school to bring in all the outlying schools, the building was divided in half, and this was moved here. And then the one where Hurlin owns was, the other half of it was there. And then the wing off of it ended up being Harry Jedry's house down there next to Daniels' store. But there were 3 buildings came out of the original building.
So this building has historic significance to the town of Raleigh?
Yes, it does.
Okay. All right.
Do you have a figure for the total cost of all of the repairs that you're
No,
suggesting?
no, this is one of the factors that we were novices going to this committee meeting. And we had a contract to put the siding on. But now that we've learned more about this, if you're gonna restore this as a historic piece, I think you should start from the bare bare boards on the outside.
You would never identify yourself. sir.
David Jake with 81 Railroad Avenue.
Right,
I
thank you,
just met Mr. Gaspar tonight. I've heard about him since the historic meeting. All good things. And I have volunteered to help him put some of this information together so that he could go to CPA to help protect this building as a historic building. I mean, with all the work that we have been able to get done in the downtown with Ken Hamilton's project, the school next to Rowley's school that's come out quite nice, Mr. Sean Frocker's house across the street, we've done some work, and I'm missing about 5 other projects that have happened downtown. This would be a great one to reinforce the downtown of Raleigh. So
Okay.
I'm gonna talk to him after this and walk through the building with him, hopefully.
Okay, so with the change of discussion here tonight, so we can move forward and really send this back to the Historic Commission. Okay. Yes,
Worthy Chairman, Ann Prest, 836 Haverhill Street, also a member of Raleigh Grange. I would like to hear what the building inspector had to say,
oh, okay,
please.
I'm sorry. It's a memo from the building inspector. Several weeks ago, I spoke with the Gaspars regarding a meeting with the Historic Commission regarding the Grange. I was told that a woman on the commission said that no vinyl siding would be permitted to be installed on the Grange building. I responded that I interpreted the historic bylaws to read that the commission was there to advise the applicants. I have since spoken to Bill Todd, who was present at the meeting that night. He stated that the commission never voted to approve or disapprove the request. I stated to him that other buildings around the Grange, as well as Historic District, have been allowed to install vinyl siding. He admitted that this was the case. If the building is on historic register, then that may be another issue. I do not know the powers under Chapter 40C. I do know, however, that if anyone in the historic district anyone is in the historic district, permission is needed from the commission before the building permit can be issued. Respectfully, Ken Wall, Historic.
Thank you.
Okay. So again, guess this goes back to
Goes back to the first Thursday in December.
first. Alan, does that?
Oh, fine, fine, we're upbeat, we're not sad about this.
Okay.
It's I'm looking out for our members and the financial aspect of it. Because if we dump money that we try to earn to do these projects for our community, that would have to stop, because we can't do both.
Again, I guess as we go forward here, we'll, the Historic Commission will come back to us.
They offered to help, there's no question, they offered to help.
I think you'll find under Chapter 40C, and it's either Section 7 or Section 8, and I'm not sure which one. There is a paragraph there that states, as long as it meets the neighborhood design. In other words, if you've got 3 Platts Bradstreet houses surrounding your property, then you gotta kinda go with what the Platts Bradstreet house looks like. But if you've got other buildings in the same area that in fact have vinyl siding, then it wouldn't be a giant step not to put vinyl siding on there. You could actually do vinyl siding because that's what goes with the neighborhood. So the 40C kinda leaves it as an open issue, and it's just a matter of having the commission address it and make that determination, one way or the other.
Well, this is what our rules are.
Yeah, but you also have the state rules, Bill.
Well, this is made up from that.
Right, but what I'm saying is, when you look at the state rules, that actually creates the district. And there are certain items that you can use or choose not to use. And in the town of Raleigh, there were items that were chosen not to use. that come under 40C. Paint color, storm windows, those
Well,
types of
that's all
items.
written up right in here.
Right, but that comes from 40C.
Yeah.
There are other sections of 40C also, and like I'm saying, I can't remember whether it was 7 or 8, but
Well,
that would give you, if you so chose, a way to work with somebody in a situation like this. It doesn't specifically prohibit it, it doesn't specifically say, yes, you can do it. It's a matter of judgment and a matter of negotiation. So,
Yeah. Well, it says in here, thou shalt not use asphalt shingles.
but that's the town's requirement, not necessarily the 40C requirement.
I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
But it makes
I don't
me
think
wonder
anybody else
what
does, Bill. I
use
think
we
you're
are.
doing good. I don't think anybody else does, but there is two parts to that. Okay, the state requirements,
Yeah.
which is 40C, and then the town can have its own requirements. And most of the town requirements are basically suggestions and we would like to see type issues. Roof color, example. In the town requirements, it would like to tell you what color to put there,
No,
whether it's a darker color or a lighter color. Well, the old ones
no,
do.
you don't get the red ones or the green ones.
So, I mean, it's more of conjecture than anything, basically. I mean, and the charter of the district says it's there to work with the people and help the people, basically. That's what it was basically passed for, is to not necessarily shoot everything that comes along down, but on the other hand, it's there to protect the historic properties and to protect the historic areas at the same time. So it's kind of a thin edge to walk on, but,
If you slip, you're in trouble.
well, not
Especially
necessarily.
if one leg goes on one side of the edge and one goes on the other.
That's probably not too good.
Barbara, you want to say something?
Yeah, I want to say, this hall we purchased in 1968
From the
No.
odd fellows.
from the Oddfellows, who claimed they couldn't pay the taxes, and that's something that I didn't understand, because we're a 5031C. And Eldon Bradstreet had told me that they couldn't pay the taxes, they had to get the building. We bought that building for $6,000, and 5 people put their names on the paper, so we were responsible
Mhm.
for the mortgage, which the banker at that time was somebody that's in the Historical Society, I can't remember his
Bill
name.
Jewett.
Gordon Densmore?
Jewett, yeah.
Bill Jewett.
Said we didn't have to make payments only when we got money. Well, we burnt the mortgage in 5 years.
Sure.
So we really worked at that, and since that time, I hate to tell you how much we've dumped into it. The first thing we did, we put a new furnace in. That was in 1969. And then we've gradually gone on the interior. We have a lift inside, a lift outside. A lot of the upstairs was done by volunteers. And for anybody that's never been in there, I think it's great to see it because we've done so much work on the inside. And we try to keep the outside looking up too.
Mhm.
But it's hard because I think we've painted it twice in those years, maybe 3 times. The first time was all volunteers. They came to work on the building and we fed them lunch. If they were there at supper time, we fed them supper. So we got the building painted. Well, today with all the laws, you couldn't do that.
Mhm.
So we talked about it and we felt the only way to go was with vinyl siding. We wouldn't have to worry about it anymore. So that's what it's all about.
Also be cost effective as opposed
Yes.
to some of the newer
Right.
building materials that are out there that are much more expensive.
But I think, looking at the 7 items that I mentioned,
Mhm.
it'd be foolhardy to put the siding on if we don't have insulation
Right.
because we leave there, as I mentioned, the first meeting in December, and we meet in the library here until March. And the main thing is, the heater isn't effective with no insulation. Well, okay, I'm
So I
happy with
think-
that.
Okay, any other comments from the commission? Board of Selectmen? Thank you,
No, I
Paul.
think we ought to, I mean, the Grange is, they're the top of the line around town. They give out, and I think they're in need of getting things done down there and to work with the Historic Commission and get a plan ready, go to the CPA, get something.
It sounds like this.
I think that's, and the people should step up and back them.
I think we should do what we can
Yeah,
to support
right.
it. It's a very worthy organization that's done well for the town.
Exactly.
What's next supper?
What's next?
March, okay.
March. It'll probably be a turkey pie left over from Thanksgiving.
Big freezes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the Historic Commission meets on
The first Thursday.
first Thursday in December.
December.
Okay. All right, that is, what date is that?
At 7:30.
At 7:30, and what is that, the second, third? Oh. Can't read the calendar from here.
Six.
The 6th?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. With that, we adjourn our joint meeting, so with that, do I have a motion?
Is there any other comments
Oh,
from
any
the,
oth-
from the Historical Commission? Or District Commission?
okay. With that, adjourn the meeting, and do I have a motion from someone to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make that motion that we join joint meeting with the Board of Selectmen and the Historic Commission.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second,
All those in favor with a roll call vote?
Hi, Jack Cook.
I, Joe Perry.
I, Robert Snow.
Hi, Robert Murray.
Hi, Nathaniel Zelma.
Hi, Frank Todd.
Elizabeth Jones.
Hi, Robert Seaver.
Okay,
Where's Stu?
I'll see you at Reeds Over America.
excuse me?
I'll see you at Reeds Over
Oh,
America.
yeah, Reeds Over America, yes, you will see me then.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
all right, thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Alan, thank you. Thanks for coming.
And of course, with all of this, that gives us using us to accomplish this with grants and things like that.
I got
because
somebody's pen.
it's gonna end up in.
Our concern is restrictions being placed that, let's say, suggested materials that
I
nobody else
just
can
have one
provide.
comment.
All right, well, thank you all for coming in tonight.
I'm here. We need 3, not A. We need 3.
Put that into the letter, that. Good night now.
Good night.
This book here.
Good night, Mary. Good night, Don.
You too.
This book here,
Good night. Happy Thanksgiving.
we make one of these every year, so we know what we've done all year. And this book, we've won first prize for the last 5 years. But everything that we
The history of the
do,
Grange is in there?
no, not really. This is just like an ad, not an ad book, but all the stuff that we do.
Oh, okay.
See, here's the Topsfield Fair.
Mm-hmm.
This was a second prize winner. This is the Veterans Committee at the State Grange with the trifold.
Vietnam Memorial.
Yeah, and there's what we've done and all this stuff. And here's the Wreaths
Now, what's the
Over
date for the
America.
Wreaths Across America?
The 10th. It's on a Monday.
Yeah.
There's the Wreaths Over America. There's
Oh,
the,
okay.
and
That was a good time last year.
well, they never come to the same town twice. But they're coming back here.
They're coming back through?
Oh yeah, I got the word
sometime in December, in fact. And here's the thing in the library.
Oh, yeah.
This is one of our members who's East Coast Clinical Research getting an award from. So we do one of these books every year, and here's all the thank yous back here.
Good job,
Very
Robert.
nice.
Thank you.
So, your secretary has got something that I found in one of the books that I opened. A picture of her when she first came to work in the Thank you, Sue.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you
now.
for coming in, Barbara.
Yeah.
Good night, Barbara. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
We'll see you later.
All right.
Thank
Well, you're special, Jack.
I do a lot for them down there. And they have all something
Oh, we didn't get a kiss. You got a kiss.
Well, that's my pay, I guess. No comments.
All right. Moving along to general business number 1. Letter from the Massachusetts Collectors and Treasurers Association, reference to certification of Treasurer Collector Karen Summit, who is right here in front of us tonight. Letter, Massachusetts Collectors and Treasurers Association has notified the Board of Selectmen that our newly elected Treasurer Collector has been awarded the designation of Certified Massachusetts Municipal Collector. We are very proud of Karen's accomplishment. She is a well-educated and highly talented individual, and we are truly grateful to have her serve in the position as Treasurer Collector in the town of Raleigh. This certification complements her strong academic and professional credentials. I, Robert Snow, call for a motion to send a congratulatory letter to Karen Summit, our Treasurer Collector.
I'd be very happy to make that motion.
And I'll be very happy to second it.
I have do all those in favor?
Aye.
And I'm going to read this into the record, Karen.
Well, thank you.
Okay. This is from Massachusetts Collectors and Treasurers Association. Dear members of the board, we are pleased to advise you that the Treasurer Collector of your town, Karen H. Summit, by virtue of certification by this association, has been awarded the designation of Certified Massachusetts Municipal Collector. A certificate attesting to the fact will be awarded her on November 14th at the holiday meeting at Pleasant Valley Country Club in Sutton, Mass. Certification was achieved by having satisfactorily met the testing requirements promulgated by the association as to experience in schooling, including successful completion of an arduous 4-day course at the association's annual school at the University of Massachusetts, Amherst, during each of the past 3 years. Courses at the school are taught by senior officials from Massachusetts Department of Revenue, by attorneys and financial managers who specialize in municipal finance, and by senior treasurers and collectors who have previously earned their own certification. Courses include such subjects as law and procedures on collection of property taxes, real and personal, collection of motor vehicle excises, the law and procedures on the pursuit of delinquent taxes, municipal finance law, cash management, municipal accounting, and several other courses designated are designed to increase the expertise of your treasurer collector. We want to extend our congratulations to you and the citizens of your town for the support given your collector, which culminated in this great honor. It is our hope that this support will be maintained through continued attendance at our annual school. Certification is subject to renewal every 5 years and is dependent on successful participation in the continuing education program conducted by this association. We are confident you agree that the better informed and more knowledgeable the public official, the better the community is served. Should you or any senior administrator from your town wish to attend the awards luncheon, please contact MCTA office for details. Sincerely, Michael Hanlon Jr., Executive Director, Massachusetts Collectors Treasurer Association. Again, Karen.
Karen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Karen?
Yep, thank you, Karen.
Terrific.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Oh, thank you.
There's one thing about Karen, every time you go across, you have a question, she has an answer for it. So, you have, I mean, since you've taken over the job.
She was taught well.
Yes, she was.
Yes, I was.
Yes, you were.
Yes, I
Yeah.
was.
Our last treasurer collector,
Yep.
Jackie Vincent, she was crackerjack and you were too, so
Oh, thank you.
thank you so much, Karen, for what you do.
Now I can work on my treasurer certification
Yep.
the next 3 years.
There you go. Okay. So,
All right.
We
just
look
thought that-
forward to supporting you in that
Oh,
and
thank
to
you.
congratulating you on that accomplishment too.
Yes, hopefully. Hopefully maybe 2 years.
Good job, Karen. Thank you.
Nothing's fault. Thank you very much.
Okay. I know it was a lot of hard work, because I remember you, over the past couple of years, you going away and spending that time
Right.
doing those courses.
Mhm.
I don't think the people at home realize, it's just not, you don't see Karen just here. There's a lot of work behind the scenes that Karen
I'm
does.
everywhere.
Yeah, you're everywhere,
Yeah.
but I mean, you worked hard to get the certification.
Yes.
And I mean,
It's not like it used to be.
And it's
No.
a great program, you know, working with your peers, you know, who have more experience and, you know, with the professionals that support us, you know, our financial advisors, our attorneys. It's a wonderful program that they run, and we're very lucky to have it in our profession.
Years ago, you found somebody that could add and subtract, and you had a treasurer, a collector.
Mm.
But it just doesn't work that way anymore.
No, this is.
Not this day and age. It just doesn't do it. You have to have the knowledge. It's just so complicated.
It's a great organization. I mean, they're on top of, you know, what's going on in the legislature with regard to things that affect us. And, you know, with the state, you know, we had someone from the registry talking about how they're upgrading their systems at the meeting last week. So it's very, very good organization.
Well, you know, I mean, we've gone across with, you know, some abstract questions and things. And you and Jackie have always been there with the answers for us. And, you know, we greatly appreciate that. I mean, and Bob is correct. This is a job that has completely changed from what it used to be. It is, you need somebody who is highly trained and professional in this job. So, good job, Karen.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So,
Thanks again.
thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So, we took a vote, right?
Yep.
Okay, we're all set. All
Thank
right,
you.
Karen, thank you.
Thank you,
Good night.
Karen.
Good night now.
Good night now.
We're very lucky to have her.
Yes.
Yes, we are. We certainly are.
She stepped right in and went right to work and got her courses and still going at
Certainly
it.
did. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, she-
I can attest to, you know, since I've been on the board here, I've gone over and, you know, I remember her, you know, during the summertime.
Very
going away,
helpful and
Very
stuff.
helpful, and, you know, before she became the treasurer
Yeah.
collector, she was always there for us.
I think Jackie started her in that direction.
Yes,
Jackie was
yeah.
sending her to those courses before she even retired. So
Yeah.
that was a good thing.
Yeah.
Even before Jackie knew she was gonna retire,
Yeah.
you know, so, she helped guide, Karen. Okay, let's move on, we got a lot of reading to do tonight, or I should say, I have a lot of reading to do. Anyways, moving along to, new business, a letter from Triton Superintendent Christopher Farmer, date of submission of FY14 budget. Triton School Superintendent Christopher Farmer has sent attached letter to the town administrator in October. Does the Board of Selectmen wish to grant this request? And I will read. Where's my letter? It's right here, okay. I'll read the letter. This is from Christopher Farmer. Dear colleagues, At its meeting on Wednesday, October 10th, 2012, the school committee resolved by unanimous vote that the towns be requested to agree to the school committee submitting its FY14 final budget no later than April 1, 2013, rather than the March 15th date required under the regional agreement. The purpose of the request, which has been discussed on several occasions at the Budget Advisory, now Communications Committee, is to ensure that the final budget reflects the latest available information prior. I would be grateful if you would bring this request to the attention of the Board of Selectmen. Sincerely, Christopher Farmer, Superintendent of Schools. So I get that point. I think I'm going to open it up to discussion by the board.
If I could start the comments by stating that I'm the representative from the Board of Selectmen on the Budget Advisory, or now the Communications Committee. And I was asked at the last meeting if we had taken a vote, or if we could take a vote on this matter. And we are having a meeting the first week of December and this will be brought up again. And I would like to get a vote of the committee tonight and say that whether we support or don't support this matter before the school committee. Personally, I think that because of our budget constraints, I don't think that we need to get as much information as soon as we can, and by extending this beyond the March 15th deadline would not be a benefit to the town of Raleigh or to the Board of Selectmen.
Thank you, Joe. I'm going to continue on in this. Development of the town budget and the annual and special town meeting warrants is long, arduous process and requires several meetings with town boards, commissions, and department heads. The Board of Selectmen is responsible for the submittal of a balanced budget in the warrant and warrant articles for the annual and special town meetings. We anticipate several zoning articles this year, which will take time to review thoroughly. With the Triton budget submitted on March 15th, in accordance with the Triton Agreement, the town will have approximately 4 weeks to finalize the budget in the warrant. Furthermore, any ballot questions, such as an override, would need to be voted on by the Board of Selectmen by April the 8th, 2012. In 2013, the tentative schedule is as follows. Last week of January 2013, FY14 House 1 Governor's Budget released. Monday, February 4th, 2013, Board of Selectmen sets FY14 tentative budget guidelines and opens annual town meeting warrant. Wednesday, February 6, 2013, Finance Committee meeting on FY14 budget. Monday, February 11, 2013, Board of Selectmen continues with FY14 budget process. Last day for residents to submit articles for the annual town meeting warrant. Wednesday, February 13, 2013, Finance Committee meeting on annual town warrant in FY14 budget. Wednesday, February 20th, 2013, Finance Committee meeting on annual town warrant in FY14 budget. Monday, February 25th, 2013, Board of Selectmen continues to review annual town meeting warrant and FY14 budgets. Wednesday, February 27th, 2013, Finance Committee meeting on annual town meeting warrant and FY14 budget. Thursday, February 28th, 2013, Triton School Committee preliminary FY14 budget submitted. Monday, February 4th, 2013, Board of Selectmen continues to review annual town meeting warrant and FY14 budgets. Wednesday, March 6, 2013, Finance Committee meeting on annual town meeting warrant and FY14 budget. Monday, March the 11th, 2013, Board of Selectmen continues review of annual town meeting warrant and FY14 budgets. Wednesday, March 13th, 2013, Finance Committee meeting on annual town meeting warrant and FY14 budget, Friday, March 15th, 2013. Triton School Committee FY14 budget submitted. Monday, March 18th, 2012. Board of Selectmen continues review of annual town meeting warrant and FY14 budgets and opens the special town meeting warrant. Wednesday, March 20th, 2013, Finance Committee meeting on annual town meeting warrant and FY14 budget. Monday, March 26, 2013, Board of Selectmen continues review of annual town meeting warrant and FY14 budgets. Wednesday, March 27th, 2013, Finance Committee meeting on annual town meeting warrant and special town meeting warrant and FY14 budget. Monday, April 1st, Board of Selectmen continues review of annual town meeting warrant and FY14 budgets. Special town meeting warrants closes Wednesday, April 3rd, 2013. Finance Committee meeting on annual town meeting warrant and special town meeting warrant in FY14 budget. Monday, April 8th, 2013, Board of Selectmen reviews annual town meeting warrant and special town meeting warrant in FY14 budget. Last day of the Board of Selectmen to submit town election ballot questions to the town clerk. Wednesday, April 10th, 2013, Finance Committee completes final review of annual town meeting warrant and special town meeting warrant in FY14 budget. Tuesday, April 9th through Tuesday, April 16th, Town Administrator makes final changes, edits, etc. to annual town meeting warrant and special town meeting warrant and FY14 budget. Tuesday, April 16th, Board of Selectmen special morning meeting to sign annual town meeting warrant and special town meeting warrant. Tuesday, April 16th, 2013, annual town warrant and special town meeting warrant is sent to the printer. Thursday, April 18th, 2013, annual town meeting and special town meeting warrant is posted with the town clerk. Monday, April 22nd, 2013, last day for the posting of the annual town election by the constable in 7 locations in the town. Tuesday, April 23rd, 2013, annual town meeting and special town meeting warrant is mailed. Monday, April 6, 2013, annual town meeting and special town meeting. Tuesday, May 14th, the annual town election. So as you can see,
Mr. Chairman, just to clarify, that says Monday, May 6th.
I'm sorry,
Annual town
I'm sorry, what
meeting.
did I say?
April.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's Monday, May 6, 2013, annual town meeting and special town meeting.
And just to clarify too, Mr. Chairman, that the fourth bullet up, the word election should be warrant. The last day for the posting of the
Oh.
annual town meeting warrant.
Okay.
We've had election there by the constable.
All right, so as you can see, the budget process is very busy, and all of us who sit at this table know everything that we have to go through to prepare this budget, okay? And especially with our town meeting, and everything has to be necessary for that meeting by May the 6th, 2013. So, again, Joe?
I fully go along with the discussion on that, on the request, in that I think that we should inform Mr. Farmer, the superintendent, that we will seek to adhere to the March 15th date for the submission of the school committee budget.
I think, I'll open up the discussion with the board, but I have to make comment. I don't see where we have any wiggle room here. And we really need, March 15th has to be that date, it has to be the date. Any discussion from the board?
It's basically a long, arduous process to get the budget together, and I think we need all the time we can get to be able to do this. I understand where they're coming from. They're trying to find out the last figures from the state, but it's certainly not going to work for us if we try to hold it off or do it that early. We're not going to be able to get our own warrants and budgets together.
Right.
Sure.
I would agree.
So, do I have a motion from the board?
I'll make that motion that we send a note to notice to Mr. Farmer that we request that the school committee meet the March 15th date under the regional agreement.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, so we'll send a letter up to the superintendent stating, requesting March 15th, and say accordance with the Triton agreement. Okay. All right, thank you, gentlemen. Amy, where's the water pitcher? Can I have the, I'm gonna need some more water here. Thank you, Amy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amy.
Okay, new business, number 2, discussion of the following water department issues. I had quite a bit to read tonight, that's why I needed the water. Discussion of the following water department issues. A, letter to the Board of Water Commissioners requesting a joint meeting for November 19th, 2012. B, construction and office furniture expenses related to the garage being charged to the FY13 maintenance and operation budget. C, FY13 Water Department maintenance and operation budget balance of 54.69% remaining as of October 31, 2012. D, a contract with town's auditor and financial consulting service signed by the Board of Water Commissioners Chairman Scott Martin. The contract does not have an appropriation. E, update on status of the water treatment construction project and budget. I, Chairman Robert Snow, request the Board of Water Commissioners to attend a joint meeting with the Board of Selectmen tonight because the Water Department FY13 maintenance and expense budget has only 54.69% left as of October 31st, 2012. The Board of Water Commissioners has notified us in writing that they are unable to attend tonight's meeting, but are available to meet next Monday, November 26, 2012. Letter is attached. I call for motion to request the Board of Water Commissioners provide us with an explanation as to how they plan to stay within the FY13 budget through the remainder of the fiscal year, which ends June 30th, 2012. My concern is the Water Department has charged several expenses relating to the Water Department garage construction to the FY13 maintenance and expense budget. The May 1st, 2006 special town meeting authorized the borrowing of $100,000 with the approval of the Board of Selectmen for the renovating and construction of an unfinished portion of the garage at 401 Central Street, as shown in Article 20. In Article 12 of the April 30th, 2012 special town meeting warrant, $40,000 was transferred from the expense fund to Article 20 of the May 1st, 2006 special town meeting Water Department garage at 401 Central Street article. This is a total of $140,000 for the Water Department garage renovation. The article reads as follows. May 1, 2006 special town meeting, Article 20. to see if the town will vote to appropriate the sum of $100,000 for the purpose of renovating and reconstructing an unfinished portion of the Water Department garage at 401 Central Street, to authorize the treasurer in the approval of the Board of Selectmen to borrow or bond the sum of $100,000 under Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 44, Section 8, or any other enabling authority to meet such appropriation, to authorize the Board of Water Commissioners, in conjunction with the Board of Selectmen, to take any other action necessary to carry out this project, or take any other action relative thereto, inserted by the Board of Water Commissioners. Finance Committee recommends, note, passage of this article is necessary for the completion and renovation of the Water Department administrative offices. Completion of this renovation project will allow the Water Department to finish the garage area of the building in order to house auxiliary equipment, and to discontinue the use of 2 large rental storage containers. April 30th, 2012, special town meeting, Article 22, to see if the town will vote to transfer from the Water Department Enterprise Fund the sum of $40,000 to be added to Article number 20, Water Department Garage at 401 Central Street, of May 1st, 2006 special town meeting, for the appropriation of $140,000, or take any other action relative thereto, inserted by the Board of Water Commissioners. Finance Committee recommends from the floor. Note, passage of this article will enable the Water Department to complete the last phase, the reconstruction of the Water Department garage at 401 Central Street. The Board of Selectmen and the town meeting approved the construction of the garage at 401 Central Street to house auxiliary equipment, and to discontinue the use of 2 large rental storage containers, as stated in the explanatory note on Article 20 of May 1st, 2006 special town meeting. The explanatory note in Article 12 seeks the transfer of $40,000 to complete the last phase of the reconstruction of the Water Department garage. The question is to the Water Board, what is being built? There is no authorization to go beyond the garage to house auxiliary equipment. When did the expansion of the office space get authorized by town meeting? Construction projects and expansion of the building into office and workspace are well thought out and planned projects that require town meeting approval. Construction projects cannot be funded through the maintenance and expense budget. The Board of Selectmen needs to vote to request copies of the Board of Water Commissioners meeting minutes where the Water Board voted to authorize expenditures for the garage project. I call for a motion to request all minutes pertaining to discussions of this construction project. Furthermore, we need to request copies of all bid documents, purchase orders, and contracts for this project. Several bills have been flagged by the accounting department relating to the garage construction project. As of November 6, 2012, there is a balance of $68.12 remaining from the $140,000 borrowed in 2006, added to the in 2012. 1. Bay State office furniture charges totaling $4,124. 2. Gauthier electrical services for $4,500. Maglio Properties Incorporated, 3 invoices totaling $9,200. 4. Yankee Pine Corporation, charges totaling $3,252.50. 5. Walsh & Son Plumbings, $6,500. A review of these invoices shows that desks, file cabinets, bookcases were ordered and paid out of the FY13 maintenance and expense budget. There are no these are one-time capital expenses. Where are these items being placed, and for whom are they for? If the Water Department planned to outfit office spaces, then they should have brought this up to us during the meeting we held at FY13 budget season for a discussion. This appears to be a well-thought-out planned expense and cannot be run through the maintenance and expense budget. There should have been an article on the warrant last spring to pay for these costs. I call for a motion to request copies of the meeting minutes in which the Water Board voted to authorize these purchases. The Board of Selectmen in the town meeting were presented a plan by the Board of Water Commissioners for a garage construction project. The charges that we've seen come in have been from Marglio Properties. For the water department includes work to finish doors, windows, and trim for an office tile, and drywall insulation. The bills do not break out the labor and materials, nor do they contain a copy of the purchase order for prevailing wage rate information. I am calling for a motion to request copies of the bid documents, specifications, prevailing wage rates, contracts, or purchase orders relating to Marglio Properties Incorporated. The statement for Walsh & Son Plumbing was handwritten on a small piece of paper. The total charge for the plumbing work was $6,500, including rough plumbing for a toilet, shower, kitchen sink, slop sink, hot and cold water mains, and a propane heater. I call for a motion to request copy of the purchase order, prevailing wage rate schedule, and insurance certificate from this vendor in a vote of the Water Board authorizing this work and expenditure. Excuse me. The Board of Selectmen voted to recommend the FY13 Water Department budget April 2nd, 2012. The total budget was $1,592,976. The FY13 maintenance expenses that were presented to the Board of Selectmen for review were $455,000, up from $366,000 in FY12. During the Board of Selectmen's meeting, the reason offered by the Water Department for the needed increase of maintenance and expenses budget was anticipated increases in fuel costs and anticipated electric rate increase. The new monthly billing costs were also factored into the budget for a new cost of $9,600. The Board of Selectmen accepted all the reasons given by the Water Board as to the need to increase this budget by 24% over the FY12. The reasons presented made sense to the Selectmen. Now we are seeing a one-time capital expenditures being charged to this line. The FY13 Water Department budget expense detail form shows the breakout of $455,000, and all the categories are specific to the expense side of the operations of the Water Department. There are 18 lines in the FY13 maintenance and expense line. They are as follow: monthly billing, $9,600. 2. Police detail, $10,000. 3. Computer licenses, $35,929. 4. Employee licenses, $6,000. 5. Electric rate increases, $84,622, which has a note stating that the garage and treatment plant construction for 86,000 kilowatts. 6. Heating, $7,836. 7. Vehicles, fuel, $38,250, with a note stating 8,500 gallons times $4.50 equals $38,250. 8. Vehicles maintenance, $33,948. 9. Water system maintenance, $79,948. 10. Water break materials, $40,000. 11. Chemicals, $25,000. 12. Storage containers, 0. 13. Biomarine water samples, $9,660. 14. Legal debt cost, $40,000. 15. Phone, Verizon, Centrex, NYNEX, $3,546. 16, Meyer Property and Casualty, $14,661. 17, clothing allowance, $800 times 5 equals $4,000. 18, office expenses, $12,000. The expenses that we are concerned about do not fall into any of these categories. We recommend the FY13 budget we recommended the FY13 budget to the townspeople at the town meeting based on expenses in the above 18 categories. While the actual cost may vary from the anticipated costs, one-time capital expenses cannot come out of operating budget. The construction invoices, the plumbing, and the electrical work that we see on these invoices are not a repair or maintenance to the existing facility. This is for new work, which is not included in the FY13 appropriation. The purchase of a piece of office furniture, office equipment to replace either a broken desk or chair is fine, and we can be covered out of the operating expense budget. But we can't fund the outfitting of new office space out of the expense budget. We recommended this budget in good faith. If the water board ran out of funds to complete the construction, they would have needed to halt work and go back to the town meeting for the balance of the funds. It is our fiduciary responsibility to investigate these charges and to notify any of the vendors that they must halt work immediately, since there is no funding for this work. Furthermore, the chairman of the Board of Water Commissioners signed a contract with Powers & Sullivan for financial consulting service. Again, during the last budget season, the Water Board did not discuss the need to have financial consulting services for their department. The town accountant and the treasurer collector were not notified that the Water Board sought financial consulting services. If the Water Board sought these services, they should have presented a warrant article last spring to town meeting. The scope of the services for this work includes providing financial assistance in the development of formal policy and guidelines for funding and maintenance reserves that can help sustain operations during difficult periods, in developing a policy for transferring funds, in review of balance sheets. Excuse me. The contract fee for this work ranges from $5,000 to $8,000. If the Water Board needs assistance, they should have come to the Board of Selectmen with this concern last spring. I would have recommended that we save the ratepayer this expense and have the town accountant and treasurer collector, town administrator, and water department staff work as a team to address these issues. I call for a motion to request a copy of minutes of the Board of Water Commissioners meeting where this topic was discussed and this contract voted on. The final topic is the water treatment plant. I am requesting an update on this project. I received a call the week before last from the water department requesting me to attend a meeting in Boston with state officials to discuss solar panels for the water treatment plant. I need specific information from the Water Board on the cost to run the water treatment plant for its required test, which I believe is to run the plant for 6 days continuously. Does the water treatment plant construction appropriation cover the cost to undertake this test? I am calling for a motion to request this question to be sent to the Water Board for an answer. Before we begin talking about solar panels, we need to find out the status of this project. Is it within the schedule and within budget? Have there been any change orders issued? And if so, we need a detailed explanation on this. Lastly, does the board wish to schedule the Water Board for November 26th meeting or December 3rd meeting? Debbie has informed me that we have several appointments scheduled for the 26th of November. We will need to send a memo to the water board requesting all information we voted on tonight. First of all, I'd like to open that up to discussion from the board on my letter.
Well, I can start off to say that being a former member of the water board, that I see things here that we should have answers and concerns to the water commissioners. And I very think that the discussion, the following items here from A to B, C, D, and E should be discussed. And the only thing I would say that the water board should be invited into our meeting to let us know what went on, or whatever, to address these issues. And the budget concern, which we all know we have to stay within our own. For some big reason, we do have to expend to buy pipe for extra breaks and cost big money. I think that it should be addressed. The budget right now is over 50% or better, whatever, if I read what it is. But you still, they have to live within their means of that budget too, to stay. I feel that they probably are capable of finishing out maybe the fiscal year on the money they do have. It would be disappointed to over budget when the board, I wasn't on the board at this time last year, but I know what it's all about, to come in with different departments, and we need 50,000 for this, 50 for that. And if you go 120, you're $20,000 over on a budget, you gotta come with the paperwork or come before the selectmen to address these issues. It's elected board down there. There's 3 members, and I think that, my opinion, we should just call them in and answer the questions. I mean, we're running a town department. The thing it is to spend A money for A and not A for B or C, you know?
I'm trying to find, Jack, where we, as of the end of October, they had spent
I did,
Only had like
you did read
$68
that.
left.
$68, but I'm talking about the operating budget.
Yeah, it was here somewhere, I think.
54.62%.
Right on the,
Where's it?
Very
Is it-
first
did you get the first page?
right there,
Okay,
Halfway
okay.
down.
Yeah, a balance of, yeah.
with only 3
Okay.
months of the
I'm sorry,
the fiscal
6.9%.
year, and with 9
Okay,
months to
so
go.
Right.
they have spent in 3 months, almost 45% of their budget.
Right.
And you get
In,
4 months.
in,
4 months.
in 4 months,
A
45.
third of the budget season has gone by, and they've spent over 45% of their budget.
So they're projected to, in 8 months, they would have spent 90%,
Mhm.
correct?
Right.
So they're on track to overspend their budget.
Well, I think, you know, being on I could probably just give you a little on that. During the summer months and this time, you are out there repairing. Where the winter months, which let's say in another week, they're not gonna be out there digging mains up, they're not gonna do this and out of the budget. I think it's gonna be a slow deal. I don't think you're gonna see the big bills come in like we've seen in this 4, because this is operating from July to, let's say, to November right now, that you're out there, the good months of the year, during the winter months, you're not gonna be doing that activity of, even though the budget is what it is. It's just not jumping off of it, but part of the cemetery commission. Our big time is right up till right now. We're not out there mowing, we're not there doing this, there. Now, we pick it up like in March,
Right.
in April again. Now, we might have used 60% of our budget, but we know what we got left. We gotta live within that budget. Now, if they come in and they're over, and these things that we had found, that they had spent.
On capital items.
Capital, that's right, is another issue. That's why I would really have the 3 board members in here and then put the questions out.
Okay.
Yeah, with the superintendent here
I
too.
just want to read something into the record, okay? We requested a meeting tonight, okay, with a meeting to discuss water department expenses, November 19th, 2012. Dear Commissioners, Martin, Ricker, and Toomey, I'm requesting that the Board of Water Commissioners meet jointly with the Board of Selectmen on Monday, November 19th at 7:45 to discuss the following: construction of office furniture expenses related to the garage being charged to the FY13 maintenance and operation budget, FY13 water department maintenance and operations budget balance of 54.69% remaining as of October 31st, 2012. A contract with the town's auditor for financial consulting services signed by the Board of Water Commissioners, Chairman Scott Martin. The contract does not have an appropriation. And an update on the status of the water treatment construction project in budget. Please contact the Selectman's office to confirm your attendance at this meeting. Sincerely, Robert Snow. Chairman, received a letter from the Water Board in reference to the request for the November 19th meeting. Dear Board members, on 11/15/12, the Raleigh Water Department is in receipt of Chairman Snow's letter of 11/13/12 requesting a joint meeting on 11/19/12 with the Water Board Commissioners. Due to a short time of notice, some of us with prior commitments are unable to attend that date. However, the Water Board meeting of 11/15/12, it was voted to request a reschedule this meeting to 11/26/12. Please notify us if this date is acceptable in time for us to post. Sincerely, Scott Martin, Chairman, Water Board Commissioners, Roy Ricker, Clerk, Timothy Toomey, Member. So, gentlemen.
To go back to Jack's explanation about the budget expenses that we have, I realize what he's saying. It's in the summertime, it's busier. But we got to remember that the year doesn't end in December. It ends in July. We're back into the middle of summer again. So it's going to be, I think, really close if they have to, with what they're spending, to make the budget, because we've only gone through a third of the budget. It's 4 months. We still have 8 months to go with only half the budget.
So
that is a concern that I see.
So projecting out if you go out 8 months, double that, we're talking 90% of the budget will be spent in 8 months. And then looking forward.
But I, Mr. Chairman, just to say what Bob said too, I think, and I know what would be going down there, it's, they're spending a lot of their money doing these extra jobs as far as buying materials for this stuff. And you gotta agree, during the winter, if you get a major breaks and stuff, you do have to fix them. But they've had a plan going out fixing. Now, I don't know where. I'm sure that money, I haven't got the breakdown, but if they were sitting here, they were just fixing a lot of connecting.
Which is under the maintenance.
Under the maintenance.
Maintenance,
Right.
operating
And
expenses.
it costs a lot of money to do this stuff. You know, police officers, they just did a big job down by the annex. Did another job down on 1A, and probably 6 or 8 jobs around. Tying in new stuff that was put in the 50s, 48, some of this stuff, deteriorating pipe, and they're not doing it this time of year. And I know, like you're saying, they used 40%, 45%, and like you're saying, in number 4 months, which would be 8 months with 4 left, if you double that, would be 90% of right now. But I doubt if you're gonna see 90%, I would doubt if you see 40% in the rest. You gotta work with that budget. You just can't, like I just try to explain. I don't know what the light department does, but I can tell you, I've been out back here, the cemetery. We spend a lot of money through up to November. Now, the only thing we do out there, basically, in our department now, is if we get a burial, we do it. We don't mow. Think about it. That costs money. It's in your budget. You take that out.
But their budget is approved at town meeting for maintenance and operating expenditures.
Yeah, but you don't have, what I'm trying to say is you don't have a period of time from July till, this is gonna go from July to June 30th, our budget, the same thing. And we run high and spend a lot of money out there. But we know we have to budget, and that's how we set it up to run it.
Right.
Now, I know there's other things here, but my concern is I'd like to see the water board come in and, hey.
No, Jack, I fully agree with you, what you're saying about the budget, okay? What I'm concerned about is we have capital showing up on the expense line, and
that's why I want the water board. If we could have them come into a joint meeting and solve the answers. We're the Board of Selectmen, we're overlooking, hopeful we can get it straightened away or what, and there's items that maybe aren't right, that are spent not the right way, if you want to put it that way, on doing stuff. I know this building, I was a part of that building way back getting it. It's been we got 100,000, we started, we got going, and it's a good, believe me, it's well earned the money that we put down there when we originally bought that building. And believe me, it was 2 votes that went by at town meeting. We almost lost that. It was a great opportunity either for a fire or a police station. Luckily, the water department got it. I was part of it, getting it, and it's a great location. The only other thing I can just say is the town's growing. You know what I mean? You gotta have the water department, we got the treatment plant, the answers we wanna know, people wanna know, and the bills are, do I wanna pay them high bills? No. But do we wanna have quality water? Yes. But this is an issue I think that should be started with to have the board come in and the superintendent and at whatever meeting's convenient for all of us, and go over the facts, which you stated.
Okay. Stu?
I have a couple of questions, but I would like to save them until the board comes in.
Okay. Bob?
Well, one of my concerns is they've sent us a letter saying that they couldn't make the time frame that we gave them to come into the meeting. And so they wanted to do on the 26th of November. If we vote tonight to ask for some of this information we've got listed in your letter, I don't think we're gonna have time enough to review that information. And hold a meeting on the 26th.
Good point.
I mean, it's...
Because we got the holiday coming up.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's gonna be...
It's a short week this week.
What was the next time, Bob? Wasn't it like December 6th?
December 6th.
Was that Would that be,
I think that would probably be,
Well, it's gonna be easier for us to at least try to digest some of this information that's gonna hopefully be coming.
Debbie, we have a
December
pretty-
3rd, is it?
December 3rd.
December 3rd, I'm sorry. Okay. So we have a pretty
Well,
good schedule coming up next
We've
week.
already have booked for the 26th, a joint meeting with the assessors at 7 for the tax classification hearing. 7:15, we have representatives from the Town Common Restoration Committee.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, that's right, that's a
We are
deal.
trying to get a town resident who's interested in serving on the planning board come in to meet with the selectmen and the planning board members to be appointed to either the planning board full seat or the associate seat. We had tentatively set up something with Tim Southall for an update on the recreation park development at the Brad Street property. And there was also tentatively the treasurer, Karen Summon, had something. Those were things we're still working on. I have to get the agenda posted tomorrow because.
But we have a
of
full
the-
schedule for next week. I don't think,
For the
see how we
26th,
can.
right.
Yeah.
And again,
besides,
Bob, you bring up a good point. We
Well-
need to review this.
Right, and what Debbie just said, she won't be able to post on Thursday. She has to post
That's right.
tomorrow.
Have to post tomorrow.
So it's gotta get through there, so I don't see how we can make the next meeting and
Yeah.
have them in here at the same time and be able to do all we need to do.
Okay.
Can we request, would it be appropriate to request the reply from the water commissioners with the minutes and some of the materials
Well, we have
for
a
the
couple of
26th so that
motions
we
here.
can go over it
Bob,
for
you
the
can keep track of the
December
motions?
3rd?
I think
Okay.
I did, Bob.
Would that be appropriate?
Yeah.
I went through.
well, I
them.
think Bob,
I went through, actually.
Mary?
Yep,
excuse me,
Yep.
Vice Chairman, Mary.
I highlighted it. so
You know,
can pick
if,
them out.
Okay.
you know, we're gonna invite them in. They have their meetings, like we do,
Mhm.
and we have minutes kept. That shouldn't be a problem, I would say, on these issues. If they voted, or what they did, they discussed with their board, the minutes come, we could request and hopeful, like Mr. Perry said, we get
Well,
them here
if we
with them.
request, all that is requested, I think we need to have it in our hands probably by next Tuesday.
Well, you don't, it's up to you when you want this.
If we
They
have
have
the-
to have time to pull this
Yeah, they have to
together,
pull
I'm not
everything
sure.
together. So
Depending
why
on
don't we
what you're
give them,
requesting.
why don't we, instead of rushing into this next week, okay, because it's, I mean.
Yeah, no, we get
6
a lot on the
pages here.
table next week.
Yeah, so,
Following week,
okay.
2 weeks.
Do I have everybody in agreement? We go to the 3rd?
To ask them to come in for the
Come in
3rd.
for the
Yes.
3rd.
Yes.
Okay, do I have
I'll
a
make a
motion?
motion that we have the water commissioners and the superintendent.
And we send a letter up to them?
Yeah.
And we'll also have some requests here to go along.
Right.
Okay?
Right, I'll make the motion.
I
that
have
we
a
do.
motion.
I'll second.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Now, we have requests to go along with that letter.
Mr. Chairman, approximately what time would you like this appointment scheduled?
Do we have anything for the 3rd right now?
At this point, no, I was going to try to take stuff off 26 and move it, so right
I
now
would
we're
say there's
open.
probably gonna be a long meeting, so I would think we probably need to start. Let's start at 7:30, and that way we'll take care of all
Any
any
little
other
stuff
business and general
first.
business for the first half hour, and then we'll start at 7:30. Okay, and addendum to that, Bob, there's motions there?
Yeah, and I think I've got them all.
Okay.
I'm starting on page 3. Is that correct? The first motion you asked for? I think it is.
Okay, the first one was to attend the meeting, so we have that.
That's on page 1.
That's on page 1.
Well, that wasn't really a motion. We had already sent them the letter
Okay.
to attend the meeting.
Okay, okay.
And we just voted the one
To send for the 3rd.
to invite them to.
Okay.
So the next one that I picked up was the board needs to vote to request copies of all the water board meeting minutes where the water board voted to authorize expenditures for the garage project.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Do I have a motion? Bob, that is your motion?
I can make that motion.
Okay. Can you make that motion?
I'll second that motion.
I'll make the motion.
They made the motion
You
second.
want to
All-
read it again?
Yeah, read it into just
The
the
Board of
record.
Selectmen needs to vote, I move, we vote to request copies of all the Water Board Commissioners meeting minutes where the Water Board voted to authorize expenditures for the garage project.
I have a motion.
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
And I make a motion to request all minutes pertaining to discussions of this construction project. Furthermore, we need to request copies of all bid documents, purchase orders, and contracts for this project.
I have a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. And the next one down, Bob, is,
It's a motion to request copies of the meeting minutes in which the Water Board voted to authorize the purchase of desks, file cabinets, and bookcases. Where ordered and paid for out of physical 13 maintenance and expense budget.
okay, I have a motion.
And also invoices should be included.
What page?
Invoice- This is on
Page
page
three,
three, down
the
the
last
last
paragraph.
paragraph.
Right.
I
Okay,
jumped it then.
I have a motion.
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then also, Bob, is that also,
It's
is there
invoice-
minutes to go along with that also?
Yes, well, it's minutes. It's for a motion to request copies of meeting minutes in which the board voted to authorize purchases and invoices showing that desks,
Okay.
file
File
cabinets, and
cabinet,
bookcases
okay.
were ordered and paid
Okay,
for.
that was all in
That
it,
was
okay.
on my second.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, moving on, we have up on the top paragraph.
Yeah.
Okay.
Motion to request copies of the bid documents, specifications, prevailing wage rates, contracts, or purchase orders relating to Maglio Properties, Inc.
Okay. Do I have, that's the motion, do I have a?
Second.
I have a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then moving down,
Call for a motion to request a copy of the purchase order, prevailing wage rate schedule, and insurance certificates for this vendor, Walsh.
Walsh and Son.
Walsh and Son Plumbing.
okay, in the, a charge of $6,500, right?
Okay, and the vote of the Water Board authorizing this work and this expenditure included in that motion.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Also, there was another one here.
Okay, I call for a motion to request a copy of the minutes of the Water Board Commissioners meeting where this topic was discussed and this contract voted on. And the contract and vote was the signing of a contract with Powers and Sullivan for financial consulting services.
Okay, and I have a motion.
I made that motion.
All right, Chris. A second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 I call for a motion to request an update. Regarding the update of this, the water treatment project update. And I am calling for a motion to request this question be sent to the water board for an answer. What's the question?
And also, any change orders?
Okay, does the water treatment plant construction appropriation cover the cost to undertake this test, which is the final acceptance test? You might want to rework this.
Yeah, you're
motion a
gonna
little bit.
reword that, yeah, okay.
We need to find out the status of the project, is it within schedule and within budget?
Okay. I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I think that's it, isn't it?
One more.
Is there one
We
more?
will need to send a memo to the water requesting all the information we'll go before tonight.
Okay. We need that?
Well, we voted that
We
first.
voted that.
We voted up front.
We voted up front, okay. So,
Yeah, the motion covers them, huh, to send a member to the water board for the last,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
that covers it all,
I believe that covers it,
Yeah.
covers everything.
information we voted on tonight, yeah.
All right.
That takes us through the A, B, C, D.
That
E.
takes us through A, B, C, D, E, okay? Okay. That's done. All right.
So, did we take a vote to set the meeting up for that date?
Yes, we did, that was the
Yes, that was
in the
the
That's
beginning.
gonna be
December
what?
December 3rd.
December 3rd. Okay,
7:30?
7:30. Okay. Any other discussion, gentlemen? On that topic? All right, we'll move on. Old business. Award contract for town hall second floor window replacement project. Okay. To Honorable Board of Selectmen from W. Egan Town Administrator. And information for bid, Town Hall second floor window replacement project. 4 bids were received in response to the invitation for bids for the Town Hall second floor window replacement. New England Fiberglass Windows LLC, $7,500 per window. AJ Wood Construction Incorporated, $6,500 per window. Pergola Construction, $7,370 per window. Campbell Construction Group, $9,800 per window. The lowest bid is AJ Wood Construction of Chester, New Hampshire, in the amount of $6,500 per window, for the total contract of $65,000 for 10 windows. The bid submitted by AJ Wood Incorporated is complete and meets the requirements in the bid documentation. We conducted a thorough reference check. AJ Wood submitted seven contracts of construction projects similar in size and scope to this project. We successfully reached 5 out of the 7 references, and we received positive feedback. A summary sheet showing the responses is attached into this memo. AJ Wood Construction Incorporated is responsible and eligible bidder, offering the lowest price. Therefore, I recommend that the Board of Selectmen award the contract for the Town Hall second floor replacement project to AJ Wood Construction Incorporated in the amount of $65,000 for 10 windows. Any questions, gentlemen? Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion that we award the contract for the second floor windows to replacement project to AJ Wood Construction Incorporated in the amount of $65,000 for the 10 windows.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I would just like to say one thing. I want to, the board, myself personally at least, to thank Debbie, Amy, and Doreen for the tremendous work that they put into putting this document together and getting a reliable and workable bid back. It was a lot of work.
Yes, you're right, Bob, it was.
It really was. We went out twice. The first one came in over budget, and we reworked the whole situation all over again, went back out, and we were successful on the second try. So I personally want to thank you folks for the tremendous job that you did for this, and the tremendous job you do day in and day out. I know I'm not here a lot, but I'm here a lot of times. I'm in and out, but I see what goes on here, and
Well, we want to thank the vice chairman for all his expertise and help.
no, not
We
really.
could not
Deb.
have done it without your technical
Well, you girls get the job done.
expertise.
They do. They absolutely
You-
do.
And going
Oh,
through,
look at the cemetery. All I can say, like Bob just said,
Yeah, it's
you're over and above your job capacity.
it's a lot of
what
work,
you do.
and they get it
Yeah.
done, and they jump right in and do it, and it's very rewarding to me to sit on this board and have staff
Right.
that can do this type of job.
No
It
better
really is.
word said from Mr. Murray to you girls.
and going through all of the references and verifying all of that information.
Right.
It
Takes time.
Credit, thank you.
I commend the three of you for a job well done. I have stayed out of the office on days that I knew you were working on this and didn't call you because I knew how busy you were. You were going all through the summer trying to get this all done. So
People don't realize unless you can actually see it. I mean, these things get done and we just take it for granted. And it really should not be taken for granted because it's an awful lot of work. And I mean, if this was just the only project we were working on, it would be one thing. But we're working on a bunch of stuff at this point. We really are. And we're getting things done, which is amazing.
And the door opens and closes, people coming in and out all day. When you're here in the office, I mean, it's not like what you see here on TV tonight where everything is really quiet. It is a very busy office. And Debbie and Amy and Doreen have their hands full with so many issues in front of them. And you really do, you do a superb job. And, you know, in behalf of the board and the town, thank you so much for the job you do.
Thank you.
Thank you, it's a pleasure. Amy and Doreen and I work well in a team with the great people here at Town Hall, so you know, we're very lucky to work with such good people, and we appreciate Bob once again for helping us along the way to find little technical things in the specifications.
Vice Chairman Murray is an integral part of so many things, historic, in bid documents and other things. His knowledge is so vast, and I mean, I think I speak for the whole board. I mean, Bob, you really do a great job, and you're always there. You know,
Well, we try, Bob.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Mostly,
Yeah, we really
sometimes we don't succeed, but we do try.
We thank
With the
you.
traffic that comes through that door at times, I don't know how you ladies stay so calm.
That's true.
Some days they're at, Stu.
Sometimes I feel like I live here.
As a new member of the Community Preservation Committee, it also takes some pressure off of my shoulders in reporting to Mr. Todd that we are awarding contracts and
Yes.
using the money. So that goes a long way too. We appreciate it. Thank you.
We had a bid opening today for the cupola, so that wasn't ready for tonight, but hopefully within the next meeting or two,
Super.
after we do all that, that should be ready for award. And we're also working on the request for qualifications for the architecture, the architect work to do the work that we need for developing the scope for an elevator at the annex. So that's what we're working on.
You know, and I've said this before, and we talked about when we first got the cable TV and got in here, and trying to move forward. We did everything in baby steps, you know, just real small steps. And that's the same way as other projects in the town, you know, the windows, the cupola, and moving on. So it really, you know, it's a lot of little efforts to get where we want to get. Good job. Thank you. So I don't think there's anything else on the agenda tonight. We've already went through the announcements. Should I go through the announcements again, or do you think I've talked enough tonight?
Well, I think if you wouldn't mind reading the pantry one again, and particularly this week. I'm sure there are folks out there that are trying to some semblance of a holiday on Thursday.
Yes, there's a lot of people. I mean, if you've ever been on work with a food pantry or food pantries, and I've worked in other communities, and trying to, especially at this time of year, I remember it was one of the churches I worked with. I went to a house with a fireman many years ago. We went to the house and went in just before Thanksgiving with a turkey and some food, and the woman had no food in the cupboard whatsoever. Nothing. She brought us in the kitchen. So, for those who are more fortunate than others, please remember the Raleigh Food Pantry. Okay, it's in need of donations, and we talked before. There's need of pancake mix, syrup, jellies, jams.
Pancake mix.
Cereals and bread
cereals, pancake mix, bread mixes.
Hygienic.
And what?
Hygienic materials.
And hygienic materials, paper towels,
Things like
and paper clips, soaps. They can use that. Okay, so you can make your donations at the Raleigh Food Pantry, which is beside, to the rear of the parsonage, which is beside the Baptist church, or it's open on Tuesdays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and Thursdays 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Or you can do a drop-off at the library. Also, we have a drop-off for batteries, which are right out here in the hallway. Those are, D cell, C cell, double A's, triple A's.
Button batteries,
Yeah.
rechargeables too, also, they'll take.
Rechargeables, and it's a good idea, if we don't wanna throw these in the dumps because of the mercury and the poisons in them, so we can dispose of them, and you can bring them right here and drop them off. Every week I come by with a little bag and I throw them in there, and the boxes, believe me, it's filled up in 1 week.
And actually, the Board of Health is running that program, so they're checking it.
Yes, and so it's removed once a week.
Yeah.
Also, the town has following vacant seats for the planning board member, for a planning board associate member, and the zoning board of appeals associate member. Also, Pine Grove School Annual Craft Fair is Saturday, December 1st, 2012. The Friends of the Library is sponsoring a holiday basket raffle to fund programs at the library. They are seeking donations of baskets worth at least $50, which will be displayed at the library, along with sponsor details from November 24th to December 15th. The drawing date is December 15th. You can email baskets@rowleylibrary.org for more information. And with that, yes.
And I would like to repeat my earlier announcement that I will be posting a meeting for the first meeting for the 375th Anniversary Committee for Tuesday, November 27th at the Town Hall Annex
Thank you, John.
at
Well,
7:30.
At 7:30, okay. So we wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you next week. And a call for an adjourn the meeting.
I'll make that motion. We adjourn.
Have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good night now. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.